The doors open there at Hotel Indigo for you guys to have some fun at 11:30, and away we go. Perfect. Just a reminder of that. Today, a little 5:30 happy hour at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Also happy about that. Join us off of Appalachian Parkway, the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill to say hello. Me and Corey. Tom will be there. I think, who knows? Lots of people from Warchant will be hanging around. Good times as we do a little happy hour before the Florida State Wake game. You know, Tom, I really hope, I don't know if Dave Clawson will be all right in this weather. I am worried about him, and I'm not sure they'll be able to find anything to eat or if they can seek shelter or not. But 74 sunny with a slight breeze, no humidity, no sign of rain. It can be tough to wrap your mind around that, Dave, as you enter town into a land of Armageddon. I just hope everything's all right.
I just hope the Corner Pocket has food. Will they have food?
Yeah. How can anybody know?
It's just a tough call. Hopefully they have electricity there at the Corner Pocket as well. We'll see.
Now, it would be odd if they didn't, since all of Tallahassee does. But that would be very specific to them, Tom. We'll see. Hopefully Dave doesn't say, hey, take the team to Corner Pocket. See, look at this. Out of power, no food. Forget about it. I knew it. We're leaving. All right, so how do we want to announce, and it's good to be with you, by the way. We'll get to it. A busy show today, real busy. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, will join us at 1:30. And then at the start of the 2 o'clock hour, our old friend from ESPN.com, college football writer, and from the ACC Network, David Hale, going to join us as well. Get an overview of the weekend's matchups and college football in general. David does a great job. My mother will join us around 2:30, get her picks. She's already down a game. I took Cincinnati last night. She took Miami. So Thursday nights are killing her and Tua. Oh, that's terrible. Now, having said that, it's an actual topic that we'll have to dive into and have some fun with here momentarily. Wow. So the donations are already happening. Where do I see these? I see no donations. I want to be able to salute people.
It doesn't sync up with our chat function. You have to be on the YouTube channel specifically because it is a YouTube fundraiser. That's how they term it on the page. You can see it if you're on the Warchant chat right now. It says fundraiser at the bottom, and then where you usually have the super chat icon, it has a donate icon. So
should I go over to our YouTube station then and do it that way, Tom? That's what I'm going to do.
You can. I can keep you apprised if you'd rather.
I just want to make sure I give people credit. That's all I'm saying. I mean, honestly, we're if you didn't know, we have an opportunity to have folks donate today and have 100% of those donations go to the American Red Cross, helping out down there in South Florida and West Coast, all the areas that were hard hit. So the bottom line is, if you do super chat donations today, the way that so many of you are kind enough to do in the regular course of the show during the week and all that, every penny of that today is going to go to the Red Cross and their efforts, obviously, to aid those most seriously affected by Hurricane Ian. So please feel free to give away. We appreciate that. And this will be one of the times that I do try to tap dance for donations and see if we can't get folks to ante up. And again, obviously, anything that you can do is greatly appreciated. So it doesn't, hey, listen, I get it. Whatever you can do, it's great. I will tell you, this week has been ratcheted up. I see Seth and Daniel. Thank you. Noel Dad. Thank you. My goodness gracious. Here they come pouring in.
Wow.
You're right.
Awesome,
You're right.
Folks.
We're going to end up summarizing these. You're right, because they're going to come in fast and furious because people are kick ass. There was an anonymous donation as well. And I have a suspicion, because I'm going to be serious right now for a second. Over the years, man, we really have been able to develop together. And I feel very proud of this. It's not a reflection of me. It's more a reflection of the listeners and the fine people that care about this show and listen on a regular basis. When we've asked for you guys to reach into your pockets and pull out a little something for a cause, you have done it time and again. It has been the most humbling, at times uplifting things about this job. And it's a great job, but those moments are precious, where I see folks in the community doing whatever they can to help their fellow human beings. And I mean that. I get giddy about that stuff. And, every year we do the bowling tournament, we do other things, but this is, impromptu basically. And you guys are already responding big time. Thank you so much for that. 100%. And I think it's important that you know that, because it would affect whether or not I donated somewhere. 100% of the funds that are procured today through your donations, 100% are going to the Red Cross in the efforts to aid Hurricane Ian.
Oh, my goodness.
Those affected by Hurricane Ian.
I just put out a tweet that said over $300 raised. We're nearly $600 in. That's wow, folks. Really.
Doesn't suck, Tom. Doesn't suck. It's an awesome fan base, meaning Florida State. I think it's true of really all the teams in this town, Florida A&M, Florida State. I think it's an awesome listenership. It's a group, and I don't kowtow a lot. Oftentimes, I'm a sarcastic prick to my listeners. But in truth,
and we're off and running.
In truth, I love them, and one of the reasons is they've always stepped up huge when it comes to stuff like this. So we move along. I will, Tom, every 20, 30 minutes or so, just say, hey, man, here's where we're at. Reason to be excited. I was going to go somewhere else with that at the beginning there, but we got carried away with making sure you understood that all the money went to the American Red Cross. And I wanted to circle back on what it was. I cannot recall. I was documenting who's what. And we started with the fact that I beat Mom last night. She'll join us later. Lee Sterling at 1:30, David Hale at 2:05. A lot to talk about in the world of college football. Got a bone to pick with David right out the gate. We'll have some fun with that at the start of the next hour. And then I also was telling everybody to meet us at Hotel Indigo. So we're getting caught up. I think we're all good. As it pertains to the football game last night, obviously you're hoping that Tua will be okay, first and foremost. That said, wasn't that hard to watch? I hate that stuff, man. I really struggle with that stuff. You see it in boxing, you see it in MMA fights, and you see it in football. When guys are neurologically impaired and the strange contortions their body sometimes go into, arm straight out, leg twisted or something. In this case, his hands. Hard to look at because somebody, for lack of a medical term here, somebody's had their brain scrambled in the moment. And that is scary stuff. Now, we all know why it was elevated to a different conversation beyond, oh, wow, Tua just got knocked out on the field. It's because we just saw him staggering off the field against Buffalo, for which we were told afterwards something that defies the anecdotal evidence that we have from watching years of football, which is that wasn't a back injury, man. His head was impaired. Now, I'm not a doctor, and I can't tell you that as a diagnosis that should be taken seriously. But I've lived here, and I've watched a lot of football, and so have you. And you are insulting our intelligence when you watch the play last week against Buffalo and then tell me it's his back. Nothing about that play looks as if it is his back. Now you see this, and you have to raise an eyeball. Now, where it gets complicated is, I don't believe McDaniel sent him out there in the wake of medical advice otherwise. I don't think that since post CTE investigations, lawsuits, and rule changes that we even have a thing anymore that is akin to a, quote, team doctor. Independent neurologists are the people that do these analyze post-game analyses. That they're the ones who test them in-game, post-game, all that stuff. These they're the ones that would diagnose, right? So what gives? I don't know. But I do know that there will be a pretty extensive investigation from the moment that I would guess Tua was pushed against Buffalo and fell and hit the back of his head to where we were last night. I mean, you're going to get whatever communique there were. You're going to get the entire process looked into, because how could you not? How could you not? It certainly on the surface looks terrible. I don't know what's what, who didn't do what they should have done, who's the guilty party. Seems like somebody within the Dolphins organization, but I don't know. It's a bizarre thing when you think about, if you just think about it logically, remove the medical stuff. In a 17-game season, you can go to the Super Bowl with 7 or 8 losses in the regular season. See Cincinnati last year going to the Super Bowl. It's you can go 10-7, guys, and make your way into the postseason, get hot, and go to the Super Bowl. It happens. Why do I bring that up? Well, this isn't college football. A singular game isn't that big a deal. It is in college. You get beat, you're probably not going to the college football playoff, or your chances are greatly diminished with 1 loss, basically eliminated with 2. Not the NFL. Hell, you could be 6-6 through 12 games, and you may very well be our next Super Bowl champion. It goes on now. So if you're McDaniel and you like Tua, unlike the previous regime that did not like Tua and wanted nothing to do with him, he's come out and praised him excessively and has shown real belief in him, right? And Tua is paying that off so far on the young season. Well, if this guy has a concussion a week ago, they're saying back injury, but let's say you're McDaniel and you have eyes as well, and you've been around football for a real long time, and you see your quarterback staggering about like a drunk in the alley, we got a problem here. I don't think it's his back. Wouldn't you say on a short week, I really don't need you tonight. It's all right. Let's be better safe than sorry, because you'll get the extra time off now, and I think you're the only reason we're going to make the playoffs, or you're one of the reasons we're going to make the playoffs. I need you for all these other games. Tonight, short week, it's already tough on the body. We're going to take a break tonight, Tua. We're going to go ahead and go the other route. I mean, it seems to me that that's logically, you would just think that if you had any question at all, you're going to say, well, maybe the doctors told him he was fine. Yes, perhaps. So again, seems to me that that's probably not true, meaning that he was fine. I don't think so.
Well, when you're putting together this case that you're making that McDaniel would not play him if he's in trouble, and if he cares about him to the level you say he does compared to the previous regime, I think
he just respects that he can help him win games. I don't know if he cares about him or not.
No, but cares about the significance to the team. The
right.
NFL definition of care.
Yeah.
Then that to me would be evidence in the coffers for he was cleared. You're kidding me. He can play? Okay, well,
sure.
Let's roll him out there.
Agree. That's why I said at the outset, I don't think McDaniel played him against medical advice. I don't think he would do it. I think there's a lot of reasons he wouldn't do it. I'm telling you all the reasons I think he wouldn't do it, including that if you're a decent human being. But
you're saying something's flawed, though.
Something had to have been flawed. So I think they misdiagnosed, and I'm not a doctor. It's an opinion. It's a talk show. You can laugh at it if you want. I think it's fairly evident he had a concussion last week. Nobody watching, not former players, not coaches, not anybody that's weighed in on this, not even doctors that I've heard weigh in on this, thought it was a back injury. That was nonsense.
Well, the PA was calling for an investigation before last night's game even happened. I'm sure it's going to happen at this point. I'm allowing for the possibility that maybe it could be, because there's too much liability these days to get it wrong. In the previous eras of the NFL, wink, wink, nod, nod was the way to move along.
Sure.
But if they're wrong in this situation, the cost is greater than a loss against the Bills or a loss on a Thursday on a short week against the Bengals.
Agreed. That's why I'm wrestling with the whole thing. That if something walks like a duck and talks like a duck, you think it's a duck. If you watched that game last week, and you did, you saw it, nobody looked at that play and went, that's anything other than a concussion. Just anecdotally, we've seen guys that's what it looks like. And they first said it was a concussion. Then they came back later and adjusted and said, no, it's a back injury. Okay, man. So just me, Joe Blow citizen, just looks at that and goes,
that doesn't look right. I'll give you that.
The optics of that are not good at all. Not good at all. And it kind of defies logic. Nothing about that looks like a back injury. He never once grabs his back. He never winces about his back. None of it. He grabs his head, shakes his head to shake the cobwebs out.
If it's a nerve injury to your back, though, it might cause you to do some weird stuff.
Spinal injury, perhaps I would concede something like that. Yeah. If you had a spinal injury to the extent that you fell to the ground while trying to walk and didn't know where you were, you probably shouldn't play on Thursday. I mean, that's common sense, it would seem to me. So something's going to come of this. I don't know if they're going to be successfully able to sweep that under the rug. Maybe nothing happened. Maybe you're right. Maybe the perception that I have is just that. It's not reality. It's just the perception. And I'm wrong.
Yeah, but no matter what, the perception is terrible.
Oh,
it's a terrible look. So even if you did everything right, if you're Goodell, you'd say, oh, guys, I mean, maybe we need to be more transparent And on Monday, we need to remind people that he's cleared. On Tuesday, we need to remind people that he's cleared. And Wednesday, maybe we need to message this more aggressively before kickoff on Thursday. So this is an issue that is put to rest. But they also cleared him. He was apparently medically okay to leave the hospital last night. And apparently that trauma center in Cincinnati is level 1, like the best, among the best in the country. So they checked him out after. They said, you can get on a plane.
So
it's an amazing thing.
I would wonder about this. And again, this will be interesting when we hear from neurologists and others that are no doubt going to be asked to weigh in on this. Some already have. I will be fascinated to hear, because there are going to be arguments. I've already read many of whom have gone online and said that was a concussion. I'm telling you as a doctor, that was a concussion. And, many first guessed before the hit that he shouldn't have played. There were people already, as you noted, arguing about this, saying, oh, come on, something's off here, guys. Something seems to be off.
The Players Association is a large entity.
And they were looking at him going, well, we're not dummies here, man. My man has a concussion. I don't know what you're trying to get by with here. But it is curious. You're right that the legal reasons you wouldn't do that and what that would lead to. I mean, people will lose their jobs, lots of fines, maybe draft picks, like all these things that could obviously unfold over the coming months in the investigation would be reasons not to try to win a random Thursday roadie against Cincy.
From the good news department, we're pushing $2,000 of donations already.
Jeez, guys.
I saw a note from Z-Chan, who already has donated a lot of money, $500. He said to Matthew, the director, tell Tom to shed the Mets pullover and I'll double up. For charity, Z-Chan, you got it, brother.
Yeah, for charity, Tom is going to shed the Mets pull. Yeah, we can be bought for charity. And I'm going to go back through and thank everybody before the end of this day as best I can. For those that are just tuning in and saying, what are all the donations and why? Every penny raised today on the Jeff Cameron Show in the Super Chat, as donated by you guys, is 100% going to the Red Cross to help those affected by Hurricane Ian. And if you're wondering specifically why the Red Cross, it's a good organization for starters. But secondly, there are certain groups that belong to, is it Google what?
It's a Google partner organization. So basically you have to register with Google so they can verify that nobody's trying to game the system.
Correct.
So 501c3s.
No, It's all on the up and up. This is not me taking a shot at anybody.
No, it's just you have to go through a process to be verified.
That's correct. And once you're verified, then we can promote you on YouTube, and YouTube waives their fees completely for the platform. So YouTube's not taking any of this money at all for charitable purposes. And this, I ripped them yesterday, but I give them credit today. For charitable purposes, they don't take a single penny that is donated. So that's why we were excited about this opportunity and to use this platform, because you guys are always so generous as it is. And so I thought, well, just ask. People will do whatever they can do, and anything helps right now. And so I don't care if it's $1 or if it's $20,000, whatever you feel comfortable doing, we will get excited about and celebrate. And so every penny of that is going to go to the Red Cross, and they are going to go help those people. And they're in the midst of doing so right now, and they can all use our help. And we know that. And you guys have always been wonderful humanitarians whenever I've asked listeners of the Jeff Cameron Show to do such a thing. So I thought, well, we're in good shape here. Tom and I were talking about it yesterday, and we got the approval. We're good to go. I know they did it on Wake Up Warchant too, which is awesome. So, hey, celebrate it.
$2,500.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, set to join us in just a moment. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. And I forgot I got to fire my own brakes, guys. So here goes nothing. Let's see if it works.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark Construction.com. We conquer all peaks. We fix those darn leaks. Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark Construction.com.
License number CCC 1331204.
You were always more than my mom. You were my role model, my best friend, and biggest supporter. You filled my days with unconditional love. And you also prepared for the day when you couldn't be here. Because of the woman you were back then, I'm able to be the woman I am now. Your planning made this moment possible.
Set your family up for life. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance. Your friends for life.
This is Andy Cohen. When I was a law enforcement officer, I devoted my life to a career of service and protection. Who's protecting you? Give me a call. 850-671-FARM. That's 671-FARM. Helping you is what we do best.
Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. Not licensed to do business in all 50 states.
Hey, Nole fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future. Imagine for a moment that you are completely weightless with zero gravity. All of your worries and stress melt away. Your mind stops racing and you fall into a profound state of pure relaxation. This is available to you right now at Tallulah Delta 8 Plus Floating in Railroad Square for just $50. These state-of-the-art floating pods are unlike anything else you've ever experienced, and while you're there, you can shop for some of the latest and greatest CBD and Delta 8 products on the market. Natural pain management, stress relief, and better sleep are all at your fingertips at Tallulah. Tell them Jeff Cameron sent you, and thank me later.
Football at El Jalisco, football at El Jalisco, what a combination. It's a great big celebration. It's football at El Jalisco. I can dig it. Who's playing? Oh, man, everybody. The ACC, the SEC, all the C's, and even the pros. The Bucks, the Steelers, the Giants, the Cowboys. Wow, far out. You bet, man. When the game is on, it's on at El Jalisco with incredible specials on everything from frosty cervezas to salty margaritas. Does Margarita know? Dios mío, not again. The best place to watch the game is El Jalisco. College, pros, Monday night, Thursday night, you name it, El Jalisco is football headquarters. And with 5 Tallahassee area locations, there's probably an El Jalisco right around the corner right now.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
We're going to get, it'll be at the end of the conversation, but when it happens, we'll be ready to roll. And I know your face will just light up as soon as you hear it. Should. And as I mentioned earlier too, David Hale going to join us beginning of the 2:00 hour.
Lee is finishing a segment in a different market. He'll be with us in just about a minute.
That is fine. Lee's a man who is frequently asked to take over segments on Fridays for the always thirsty to gamble public. That is the case. I am amongst said public. There's the man. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, joins us now on the Jeff Cameron Show. Hello, Lee.
Hey, barely getting off the deck. It's been a tough couple weeks.
You've actually been rolling in your service, and I think that's what matters most. I have this, Lee.
It's tough. Let me tell you something. If I didn't, if I wasn't able to separate my business from the teams that I like and root for, I'd be living under a bridge. I mean, thank God I went against the University of Miami each of the last 2 games, and I went against the Dolphins last night, but doesn't make me feel that much better, though.
No, but I like when your personal, your picks that you're making people money for. It's like I give out picks here that I try to believe in, but I don't always have 10 games in my real life that I'm necessarily betting, but we got to get to 10. Right. And when they bite you, it pisses you off as opposed to having a big weekend. Hey, so I do have to ask you before we get into the picks and we have fun with this and talk about the service, but what is going on, man? The Miami game, I watched it. And I will tell you, I think it was the Southern Miss game 3 weeks ago. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought Miami looked terrible in that game.
Right.
And nobody thought so because they didn't see the game. They saw the score.
Yeah.
But I watched it. And they had a flea flicker where they scored a touchdown. I'm like, okay, we can't just drive the ball down the field here. What? You're benching a guy who in some people's mind was an outside, shot at a Heisman. What in the hell is happening in Miami?
Well, I will say this. The rumor is, and I got a couple pretty good sources, that maybe Tyler Van Dyke was a little bit high on himself and not preparing as hard as he had last year. And it's a new system. And I do not think that Josh Gaddis has done a good job. And even in the Texas A&M game, where between the 20s, I think he did fine. We don't have receivers that get any separation. That's what's amazing. I mean, Florida State, Florida, and Miami should be able to always have good running backs and receivers. I mean,
yeah,
there's so much. I go to high school games, and I'm telling you, sometimes I'm saying to myself, "Oh my God!" I mean, sometimes the backups play Division I football, and to not get those guys and to allow them to go to other states it's a travesty, to be honest with you. So I think it's a combination. They're not that talented. Look at the draft last year. They had one guy drafted. He made the team as a third. He's the last guy on the roster for the Packers, Ford, defensive tackle. All the other guys, they were touting as good receivers, this and that, even like Charleston Rambo. Good college receiver. Didn't even come close to making the roster.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of tells you the talent level's down. I think that Josh Gaddis has not done a good job with the play calling. I mean, even if you don't have a whole lot of talent at receiver, your offensive line's good enough you got to scheme up some stuff. You got to go hurry up. Sometimes not when you're down 17 or 21 points. And, then as Mario's a leader, you got to do a better job. So, I mean, the kids that are playing Miami are fired up. I mean, Southern Miss, Middle Tennessee playing in an NFL stadium, trust me, they're fired up. Everyone gets fired up playing Miami. Miami could be 30 years from now and still not good, and people will get fired up to play Miami. I don't know what it is, but I just think that they've got to do a much better job. I think he's going to get in better talent, but he's going to have to step it up. At least he took some of the blame. They were flat as pancake, flat as can be. I mean, I think talent will make you better, but a lot of other things got to change also.
Yeah, it's a fascinating set of circumstances because I understand what you're saying. I think Miami's receivers are terrible, and I also think that Gaddis was never going to be a good hire. I never understood the hire, first of all, and Lashley did a great job last year, and that system does kind of work in favor of quarterbacks. You don't have to be real smart to run that system, and so, it's interesting.
Maybe things change. There are people, sometimes they realize. I think if you watch the game that Gaddis called, 2 of his games against Iowa, against Ohio State, masterful game calling plays. So maybe it can happen. I think he's better than some of the other hires they've had, but is he as good as a coordinator last year? No, but we'll see.
Alabama on the road has not been great over their last 5 road games. I know you know those numbers. They're all close games. They're like really, really close games. And it's interesting to see that. And they're 17.5-point favorites against an Arkansas team that moved the ball against Alabama a year ago. Talk to me about this number.
I think it's too high.
Me too.
Sam Pittman, I don't know what it is. His teams seem to play up or down to the level of their competition. He is 12-4 against the spread as an underdog since arriving in Fayetteville in 2020. The Bama offense is pretty good. The offensive line is pretty good. There's not one of the better offensive lines. Outside of quarterback and running back position being pretty good, they're nothing special on offense. I mean, the receivers, they don't have any guy like Waddle or Devontae Smith walking through the door. So they beat up on Utah State. They beat up on Louisiana Monroe and Vandy. They had trouble against Texas Tech with a backup quarterback, exploited Texas. And we know what happened on the road last year. They struggled at Florida, struggled at Auburn, and lost to A&M here. I think the wide receivers are the biggest problem. I think they win 35-25, but I'm taking the 17.5 points.
I did the same. Ole Miss is a robust 7-point favorite over Kentucky. I thought that number was off. Am I wrong?
You played Kentucky, am I correct?
I did, yeah.
Okay. I think they're the better team. I think they're more balanced.
Yeah.
Ole Miss can run the football. So people think of Lane Kiffin, this wide open offense. It's not the case. Jackson Dart in a little over 3 games, drove 51 passes. They are a running team. And what does Kentucky do? Stop the run. They're only allowing 3.7 yards per carry and 3 rushing touchdowns. They are hard-nosed. Their kids play hard. They don't make many mistakes. They've only allowed 272 yards per game. And Will Levis is getting better.
Yeah, he is.
Every week you talk about a guy improving. He's a top 10, top 15 pick. Now they're going to get back Chris Rodriguez, running back, who was suspended for a month. This guy, how important is he? He's averaging over 6 yards a carry in his career. And the Cats are 11-3-1 the last 15 here. They're better. They're more balanced. They're more complete. Wrong team's favorite. Straight up Kentucky 31-24.
I like it. Good.
Yep.
Clemson's given 6.5 to NC State. My question for you here is NC State's offense. I've been a little leery watching this. You see what I did there? I have not been impressed with this offense so far this year. It's a check down Charlie throw to the backs offense. And last year, I loved watching that kid play. One of the most efficient quarterbacks in the country. I don't know what's changed. Did they lose a ton of personnel that I'm unaware of? What happened?
I don't get it either. Yeah, they used to push the ball more.
Yes.
Here's what I think. I could be wrong. I think they're holding back.
Okay.
I think they know that this is their season. Well, we're going to know for sure after this game. They're not going to leave anything for this season.
Right.
So if they're conservative again, they'll lose. They won't cover. I think they've been holding back. And you saw what Sam Hartman did against them. 6 touchdown passes. And I thought Clemson got lucky. The defining play in that game, I thought, was the Wake Forest defensive back. Ball goes right through his hands for an interception, and they catch it for a touchdown. So I think Clemson losing both coordinators has been a blow. I don't think they're the same there. There's not much difference between these teams. Maybe NC State being able to rest their starters the second half against UConn last week while Clemson was playing 2 overtimes might be the difference. Last team with the ball wins. I have Clemson winning 28-24. I'll take a shot at NC State plus the 6.5, 7.
I like it. Fun game.
Yep.
I think the Noles are giving away too many points here. I think it's a great game. Both quarterbacks will light it up, but I'm not willing to give 7. Are you?
Boy, we are on the same page.
Yeah, we are.
We need to go to Vegas. We've been
Let's go, brother. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. We're going to have to do it soon. So Sam Hartman's really good. I mean, he really makes a lot of good decisions. Now, their offensive line isn't great, so you got to get some penetration. It is a different type of offense to play against than you're going to see most weeks. So that can take some getting used to, but they're going to have success against Wake Forest. I think both quarterbacks are playing fabulous. Florida State has a little bit better running game. I think they win the game in a high-scoring game, 38-34, but I'll take the points also.
Yeah, fun game.
Yeah.
Kansas City and Tampa Bay, this game has largely been overshadowed by the storm and whether or not it was going to be played in Tampa or they were going to move it to Minnesota. Bucks have been riddled with injury. Kansas City coming off a loss to Indianapolis. Kansas City favored by 1 at the time you sent out the picks to me. What do you say here?
I would have played them even if the game was in Minneapolis.
Right.
So when I watched the game last week, and Indianapolis can't run the football. I don't know what's going on there. I do think that Tampa's going to run the football on them some. And they're similar to Indianapolis. They're hard-nosed. They like to bully you. And I just think the Tampa Bay defense is much better than Indianapolis. And that front seven's really good, and both corners are lockdown guys. I mean, they come up They cover you. They talk smack. They bump you. They chuck you. The reason they lost the game was receivers last week. I mean, the routes they were running weren't crisp, couldn't catch the ball, and then a couple of times when they caught the ball, they fumbled. With Mike Evans returning from suspension, and I do think that Julio Jones will play, I think they're going to be successful against Kansas City. A lot of people do not like going against Patrick Mahomes 2 weeks in a row. But here's something fishy. The total on this game is 45. You would never normally see a total with these two quarterbacks at 45. It'd be in the mid-50s.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're telling you both defenses are good. I think home field's going to be an advantage here. And might be special teams. That's the difference here. So I'm going to take Tampa Bay to win the game 20-17. I think the wrong team's favored. They win straight up, and I'm going to play the under 45.
Nice. Game of the week is a fun one. LSU on the road, giving 8.5 to Auburn. Auburn's offense is one of the worst in the country that I've had a chance to see. How can folks get this game?
Just call 800-400-9741. We'll give you the game for free. And what a run it's been. We won last night with Cincinnati. Went 9-2 last week, 8-3 and 6-3 the 2 weeks before. We've only had one losing week since the start of the preseason, the Hall of Fame game. You want to hop on board? We don't call it October. We call it Locktober. You can get 5 weeks through October 31st, just $347 with coupon code SAVE50. We've never been hotter. I'm also going to throw in the baseball through the World Series. We've only had one losing week the last 10 weeks in baseball, and the UFC card for Saturday. We're calling it UFC Facebook. Did you hear the news that Mark Zuckerberg's going to be at the event?
I did not.
So apparently he's going to be at the event, and no one else is attending. Just Mark Zuckerberg.
It's just a face. Yeah.
And his posse, fighters, their corner, referees, and no press, no other fans.
Bizarre.
Weird.
Really weird. Yeah. Really weird.
Yeah.
All right, but you got the card. That's what you're telling me. You got the damn card. That's what matters. All right.
Right.
Hey, brother, be good. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you
Later. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, joins us every Friday. You got it, man. He gave you the Locktober.
He did. I was hoping for the Great Pumpkin Shootout, but I will take Locktober.
We got to start with Locktober.
That's right.
As we ease into October. Ease on in. Is today or was it yesterday National Coffee Day? We should have had a grand celebration here if that were the case.
If it's National Sneezing Day,
Jeez,
I'm celebrating.
You're in trouble back there. You're on the ropes. You're like Tua in the Buffalo game, but we can send you back out there. We got another hour to go.
That's
we
fine.
Got a little time.
We can muscle up.
You have to. It's a big weekend. So he took Wake as well. With this, I just think it's too many points. I could see. I mean, I like FSU to win the game in a shootout, but I don't have a hard time with the 7.
So I don't know how I feel about consensus between you two guys on so many picks. Do I like that, or do I like the contrarian play?
Well, I don't know, but I yesterday had Arkansas before Lee came on here and had the 17.5 points. Oh, I gave you this stat. I want to put this out there to you, Tom. I brought it up a moment ago, and then I didn't tell it to you.
While you're looking for it, we are now in excess of $3,000 donated to the American Red Cross.
And you guys are amazing. I will. You might get. It was yesterday, National Coffee Day. Thanks for letting me know. Sorry I missed that. I drank plenty of coffee for the both of us yesterday, so in a way, I celebrated the way I normally do. Back to the donation to the American Red Cross. Today's show, we have the opportunity. You're gonna get tired of me saying this, but I want to give you guys the opportunity. I want people who are just joining us to have a chance, if they want to, if they feel compelled to donate. 100% of the donations today. There is no YouTube fee. We're not taking any of the money. None of that. All of it is going to the American Red Cross and their efforts to continue to aid those most affected by Hurricane Ian. And it was the least we could do, right? We have this platform, and the idea came up, hey, well, let's just, people donate on the Super Chat all the time, which is really nice. That does help us in our endeavors, and it helps the company, helps me, helps Tom, helps everybody. But the point is, we thought, well, no, let's not do that. Let's have the fine folks that are so kind in donating do so to help these folks that have been affected by this horrific event. And already you guys have said, here we go. We're rolling on Big River. Let's do this thing. Now, I don't get to see every penny that comes across the thing here, but as people do, I was over there when I saw James B donate $300. My goodness gracious. Thanks, James. All of those donations, we're now totaling up pretty close to $3,100. We're going to keep on updating you as we go along. Let's see if we can get to 5,000 or 6,000. Like I don't know that we can, and I don't have any expectation, just that you do whatever you can. Whatever you can. Everybody will do whatever they can. And together, maybe, just maybe, we'll help some people. And it's cool that YouTube's not taking any of the money, and it's cool that we have the opportunity to do it. So let's join together and do it, guys. Let's make that happen. It's good times. And it's not working. Here we go.
The Capital Area Chapter of the American Red Cross is gearing up to help those affected by Hurricane Ian. They're packing up trucks full of snacks and waters to send to shelters like the ones in Taylor and Dixie counties. Sharon Caraway, the executive director for the Capital Area Chapter, says she's working with 200 volunteers here in Tallahassee. They're also a hub for resources to be sent over to Jacksonville. They're sending out over 15,000 snacks and waters. They'll also do a disaster assessment after the storm for the affected areas. Caraway adds it's not too late to sign up to be a volunteer. If you're interested in doing so, you can visit the Red Cross's website. Wild Adventures theme park in Valdosta is offering Hurricane Ian evacuees free admission on Saturday and Sunday. Anyone that is displaced due to Hurricane Ian impacts will be given free admission on October 1st and 2nd if a valid ID or proof of residency from Florida counties under mandatory evacuation is provided. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Mac & More Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. They'll be moving to a brand new location October 3rd. Check them out online at macandmoresystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Partly cloudy skies this afternoon with highs around 80. Northerly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy again tonight. Lows level off around 59. High temperatures reach up to 85 tomorrow. Ample sunshine expected. Daytime highs approaching 84 Sunday under clear skies. 82 Monday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 76.
Now's the time to make sure you're prepared for Hurricane Ian. Visit leonready.com for the 2022 Disaster Survival Guide and a list of disaster supplies. Plus, you can download the Citizens Connect app to receive emergency notifications. That's leonready.com.
Your next chance to win $1,000 is coming up at 3 p.m. Don't miss your chance to shake the 93.3 money tree and see what falls out. Planted by the law offices of Basic Brooks. Come back stronger with Basic Brooks.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true. But I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
We need to have history. We need to have literature. It deserves an explanation. We don't need to be promoting lifestyles that come into play for your average elementary school.
Well, I had an experience with this. When my daughter was in school, her teacher gave her a book to read, but then she asked me what the C word is.
That was in the book.
That was in the book.
Okay, so talking about the C word. So you're talking about conservatives, right?
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff
segment, the way I've ended these segments so far. Thanks so much for your donations. They're coming in fast and furious right now. We're up to $3,285 worth of donations to the American Red Cross. 100% of your donations will go to the American Red Cross. It is not anything in which YouTube gets a cut. We don't get a cut. All of it is going to the American Red Cross to aid those affected by Hurricane Ian. And it is rather impromptu. I didn't get a chance to build this up and tell you guys about this a week in advance. But you know what we knew? We knew the second we stepped in here and turned on the mic, you guys would do it, because my audience over the years, the Four State fan base, and this city, this community, the community as a whole, Jeff Cameron Show community, is awesome. And something that I absolutely laud any chance I get, because of the moments that we've had together in which we were able to do some good. And that's just, hey, that's again, that's not me. That's the platform. It's awesome. I said to you before the break, I'll do prize picks in a second. I said to you before the break that Alabama's last 5 road games have been less than stellar. Last 5 true road games, not those neutral site jobbers that they do. You ready? 2022 at Texas, they were a 21.5-point favorite. They won 20-19. 2021 at Auburn, they were a 20.5-point favorite. They won 24-22. In 2021 at Mississippi State, they were a 17.5-point favorite. They more than covered that game, 49-9. At Texas A&M in 2021 as an 18.5-point favorite, they lost that game 41-38. And in 2021 at number 11, Florida, they were a 14-point favorite, and they held on and won 31-29 as Florida missed a 2-point conversion. So for whatever reason, when Alabama has had a true road game over their last 5 contests, they have either lost, narrowly covered, or in one case, beat the bejesus out of Mississippi State.
Yeah, what's interesting to me and concerning about this game is that if you listen to any gambling show or segment across the country, listen to any single one of them, most everybody is saying the same thing that we're saying, which is it's too rich for Alabama, which scares the living hell out of me. What does Vegas know? It feels like a strange trap that it's so simple that Alabama doesn't have the dominant receiver or running back that they can go to and fall back on.
Right?
That Arkansas has a good defensive line and Alabama's offensive line is in question for the first time in years. That this 17.5 feels almost 6 to 8 points strong, depending upon how you feel about home field advantage in Arkansas. Why is everybody on this side? What does Vegas know?
Sure. Well, last week, Kansas City and Indianapolis.
Are they crushed by the A&M loss in a way that they're not going to be able to pick themselves up? Like, what is it?
I have a hard time figuring out how it is that this number is what it is. I don't know if they think Alabama's defense is, in essence, akin to Texas A&M's defense, which did a real good job of bottling up KJ Jefferson and Arkansas's offense. Perhaps they think that is the case, and then they would say on the other side of that coin, if we think that Alabama's defense is as good, if not better, than Texas A&M's defense, we know, or at least we think, it'd be hard for it not to be, that Alabama's offense is a lot better than Texas A&M's offense. So if you're going to shut down Arkansas in the way that A&M did, instead of this being 23-21, we're talking about 41-21. We're talking about, 45-13 at that. Like if you think you're going to shut that offense down. I just think that in that environment, they play for that dude, man. Woo Pig Suey's real.
Pig Suey.
They do. They play for that guy. Those kids will play above their heads for a good bit of this game. Jefferson makes plays. He's made plays against Alabama. So he extends the game, extends plays in a way that allows for off-script points to be added. And when that happens, you either get backdoored or, hey, now. Or the next thing you know, it's 38-35. You're like, all Arkansas does is let him run around and make a play. Well, so, it happens. It's ridiculous. That's the hard part.
Can I briefly engage you in some bad radio before we do prize picks?
You can
look at that clock and tell me exactly what time it is right now with the seconds included?
13:54:19.
19. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I needed to know.
Okay. You want to do more bad radio and tell me exactly how many minutes we have till I have to fire the break?
Yes. Roughly. You want to go 56:50.
All right.
56:50.
I got it. I'll fire the break at that moment.
That computer's about 5 seconds ahead of this one. That's what I was doing.
Well, let's do this. Let's give everybody our prize picks. I just took a flyer here, guys. You do this if you want. I'm not telling you I feel great about it, but I don't feel terrible about it either. I took Malik Cunningham to throw for over 199.5 yards passing against Boston College. I should have done this when they faced USF and trounced their ass. I am going to do it this week. And then the aforementioned KJ Jefferson extends plays. I'm going to project him over 182.5 passing yards there. So 2 overs there, combo pick. You want to sprinkle a little pizza money there, a little 20, you can win 80, something along those lines. You have fun with it. And then I'll probably marry a bunch of other picks as well. Now, I see where Tom has picked Johnny Wilson to go over 57.5 yards receiving. I like that. And Malik Neighbors, wide receiver from LSU, is really talented to go over 48.5 yards receiving against that Auburn team that's dead on arrival most days, but their defense isn't terrible, so that'll be an interesting pick.
Yeah, the logic is simple for Malik Neighbors. He's already cleared that number in all but one game. And the one game he didn't need to because they were blowing the team out. So I'm on Malik Neighbors there as an over. That's just a trend. Clearly, Daniels likes him more than Kayshon Boutte and some of the other targets for LSU. So
yeah,
the target count's going to be there. As long as he makes the catches on the targets, he's going to be at 60-plus yards. And then for Johnny, he's due. And then also you saw in one-on-one situations against those corners for Wake Forest, I feel a lot better about attacking Wake's secondary than I do the line of scrimmage if they decide to muddle it up at the line. So Johnny should be wide open. Even when he's not, he should be wide open because you throw it up to him.
Let's go. Let's get to this game, man. I cannot wait to play Florida State Wake Forest. I've gotten a little testy this week with old Dave Clawson. He did some more complaining. He definitely has an axe to grind. Strange. David Hale, ESPN.com, college football writer, going to join us on the other side of this early in the second hour, and my mom's picks as well. Hang in there, everybody.
Sellers makes life a little better for homeowners, helping them find the best design ideas for their homes with the best quality tile, carpet, and hardwood flooring. Even mosaics, ceramic, and vinyl solutions are at their fingertips in their remarkable showroom. Maybe it's time for you to get the seller's advantage for your home or office. Find them on Capitol Circle Northeast, just north of Mahan Drive, or online at sellerstile.com. For style, quality, and design, get the seller's advantage. In Tallahassee, call 656-8453.
Crawfordville Auto and Tire, Crawfordville Auto and Tire. Oh, hey there. I was just singing the praises of Crawfordville Auto and Tire. They do just about everything. Complete engine rebuilds, brakes, shocks, tires, oil change, you name it, they do it. And they offer a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty on all parts and labor. Most of the time, they can service your car the same day and offer towing to help you get to the shop. Now that's something to sing about. Open weekdays from 7:30 in the morning until 6 at night. Crawfordville Auto Repair and Tires.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996. So let's say you're considering buying a new home in the current climate. We've all heard that demand is high, inventory is low. So how do you get a leg up on the rest of the buyers all making offers on the same house as you? Well, that's a toughie. But the first place I'd suggest you start is with a call to my friend Shannon at Legendary Home Loans. Shannon will set you up with a complete pre-approval underwriting. It used to be an upgrade, but nowadays it's got to be standard. You want to get your offer on a new home pushed to the front of the line, you need a TBD full underwriting approval from Legendary Home Loans. You'll shorten or even remove your financing contingency, and the sellers will know that your offer is real and ready to go. It's tough out there these days, folks, so why not have the advantage of a proven winning team in your huddle? Get pre-approval underwriting from my friend Shannon with the one and only Legendary Home Loans. Call now, 844-FSU-LOAN, 844-FSU-LOAN, or just visit FSUHomeLoans.com. FSUHomeLoans.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 2270146.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus, happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Hurricane Ian landfall is imminent in South Carolina. The Category 1 storm with winds now at 85 miles per hour. Meanwhile, Florida is attempting to recover after the storm. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
Right now, the hardest hit areas are Hardy, 99% without power as of this morning. Charlotte and Lee both have 85% without. And DeSoto is at 80% without.
Governor Ron DeSantis. Also at townhall.com, a judge rejects the special master's request on seized Mar-a-Lago documents, handing a win to former President Trump. More from correspondent Bernie Bennett.
Florida federal judge Eileen Cannon on Thursday rejected a request from the special master she appointed to review documents seized from former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate to have Mr. Trump's legal team verify that the government's inventory log of seized items is accurate. Judge Cannon's ruling again handed yet another process victory to Mr. Trump's legal team, which will now no longer face the same deadline to state on the record whether they would dispute any of the items listed on the government's detailed inventory. The legal team earlier this week filed a letter under seal raising their objection to the request from Special Master Raymond Deary. Bernie Bennett reporting.
Americans stepping up their spending in August. Perhaps no surprise since everything is costing more.
Consumers boosted their spending at stores and for services like haircuts by 0.4% in August after spending fell 0.2% in July. That's according to the Commerce Department. The government's report also shows that an inflation gauge that is closely watched by the Federal Reserve rose 0.3% last month. That was a faster pace than July's increase. Rich Thomason reporting.
And on Wall Street, stocks have turned lower. The Dow is down 223 points and the NASDAQ off 36. More at townhall.com.
You were lied to when buying a timeshare and worn out, you need my help. Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started the timeshare cancellation industry by exposing the ugly truth about timeshare and giving folks the straight facts. I've been fighting the timeshare giants ever since, so no one knows this industry better than me and my team. Today, we have 383 employees and have saved our clients an average of $65,000 in lifetime payments. Imagine putting those timeshare dollars back in your pocket. If you were told at a timeshare presentation that this was available today and today only, that timeshare was a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, call my office now. I guarantee you, if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-687-7979. 800-687-7979. 800-687-7979.
Hey, Nole fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future. We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Up, guys, and thank you. Let's continue this. Let's get the ball rolling here hardcore for the remaining hour of the program. You guys are always awesome. At the start of the show, we mentioned that any donation to the program today, a lot of people get on here and give on the super chat and always blows us away, and we appreciate that. But today is a great day to do it if you've ever thought about doing it, because all of that money will go to the American Red Cross and their efforts to aid those most affected by Hurricane Ian. And we have, again, it was rather impromptu. YouTube waives all the fees. Nothing. They're not taking anything. We're not keeping any of the money. 100% of your donations are going to the American Red Cross, again, to help those most affected by Hurricane Ian. So please feel free. Whatever you can do helps greatly. So if you've ever thought about it, just go ahead and fire away. By the way, awesome. Good job. We're up to $3,515 already. We're an hour in. This is amazing.
We might be behind too. I got to check. It's going up every second, so that's amazing.
Well, that doesn't suck. Good news indeed. Let's talk to David Hale. Let's bring him in. It's been too long. David, how the hell are you, my friend?
Oh, Jeffrey, it's delightful to chat with you again. It's been far too long.
It has, man. It has. I know, for instance, that, and we'll delve into just where you sit on your level of hatred for Florida State. But I want to begin with, I don't think you hate Florida State as it has been revealed this week in comparison to, say, how much Dave Clawson seems to. What the hell happened to Dave? What's going on with Dave? You know Dave.
Poor old Dave Clawson. He's surly. He's surly this week. He had a rough week last week. He's got a lot of pent-up frustration that's got to come out somewhere. And I don't, the beauty of Dave Clawson is he's very steady Eddie, like he'll tell you about how much effort he puts into just being the same guy every day. But here's the truth and the reality of being a human is that sometimes you just need to curse somebody out, punch somebody in the face, just take a baseball bat and destroy something. And I think that he has been compartmentalizing that for too long, and it needed to get out somewhere. And maybe that's it. I don't know. That's my dime store psychology on all of this.
It's just strange, David. I don't get it. It's been odd. I think he realized that he kind of put his foot in his mouth earlier in the week when he prattled on about whether or not, Florida State or the ACC would do the right thing and not endanger his players or their supporters, let alone the people that would be, I guess, going to the game here to watch Florida State as well. I mean, that seems silly, right? It was sort of inferred, though, that he wasn't sure they would. And then later, of course, the messaging about Vanderbilt-type crowd and all of that. Well, I can tell you, David, if he gets here today, it's 74, sunny with a slight breeze, no humidity, and I think he's going to be able to find food.
Yeah. I wondered how much some of that was kind of working the refs because they weren't exactly eager to go and play a game after having their hearts ripped out last
Yep.
Yep. So that was the first thing that occurred to me. And Dave Clawson is not above a little Machiavellian maneuvering behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But look, I think what it says to you is that he is probably fairly concerned about the emotional situation within his locker room, and that's rightfully so. I mean, look, it is when you are a team like Wake Forest that only gets so many bites at the apple, and you've got it right there. You're holding it in your grasp, a win over Clemson like that, and it gets ripped away from you at the last second. That takes a toll, and we see far more accomplished teams have hangovers in the next games after moments like that. So, look, if I was Dave Clawson, I'd love to take the week off too and then recalibrate and be ready to go in 2 weeks. But instead, they get a second straight top 25 opponent and a really darn good one in Florida State. It's not an ideal situation for them.
David, your in-play question of the day was, who's your pick to win the ACC Atlantic right now? And it's another bone I have to pick with you. Why wasn't the question, should FSU be considered a legit college football playoff contender?
If you listen to my pal Joe Ovius, who does a show that is really just a shadow of what you do down in Tallahassee, but he tries very hard.
Yes,
doing a sports talk show up in Raleigh, And he spent some time this week wondering aloud why it is that a certain network that I may be employed by, I don't know, I don't want to name names, but why they're so eager to write off everyone other than Clemson as a potential playoff team in the ACC. I would argue that's a valid question. I mean, there is certainly the odds of FSU going from 5-7 to a playoff team are fairly long. But you know who did that a year ago? Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State shouldn't be holding, second place to Michigan by any stretch of the imagination. NC State, I don't think anybody in the country thought like that's a bad team coming into the year. So if they beat Clemson this week, like why wouldn't they be a legitimate contender? I went to Syracuse. I have absolutely no evidence whatsoever to suggest they should be playoff. I'm going to say it anyway. Yeah, Syracuse should be in the conversation. But, look, it is. I think this year, perhaps as much as any other, you can look and all the underlying metrics say this. The polls say this. There's 3 teams that are at the top of college football right now. That's Ohio State, Georgia, and Alabama. Only 2 of them can even win a conference. And then after that, I think it's about as wide open as it's been in a long time. I don't know who number 4 is. And so if you're going to suggest that it can't be Florida State, that it can't be NC State, I mean, to me, that seems pretty short-sighted.
The good news is the next 3 weeks will really tell us everything we need to know. And that's the exciting part. They're going to play each other. It's a little round robin action here, and it's fun. And I will say, all seriousness, I like, we're having fun with each other, but I would ask you this, because the answer is yes. From my end, I'm wondering how you have perceived it up to this point. It is rather stunning, the advancements and strides made in Jordan Travis's passing game this year. This is a different quarterback who right now is a guy that would rather make plays with his arm from the pocket than run around. It's incredible how far he has come. Give me your thoughts on what you've seen from Jordan Travis so far this year.
I'm with you in that, and go back 3 years to the start of the Mike Norvell era when James Blackman was sort of the starter by default. If you had told me that Jordan Travis was not just the starting quarterback, but a successful, good difference maker in the league type of quarterback, I would have said you were crazy. The growth, there's not a lot of equivalents of guys who have blossomed all the way around the way that he has. Because even if you look at sort of they flew under the radar, the Josh Allens of the world, they were under the radar and went to Wyoming. Well, yeah, but they had all the tools. You just look at them and you say, you can put together the mechanics, you'll be good. I don't know that anybody even thought Jordan Travis had the tools to become an adequate passing quarterback, and he has. And the other thing is, when you are a really good runner, as he most certainly is, and then it gets in your head that you need to be more of a passing quarterback, you need to establish that. Go back and look at the history of guys whose careers that has upended, because it gets in their head. And they don't know how to do both. They stop using the thing that is their best weapon to do this thing that they're not actually that good at. And he is, to his credit, not just become a much better passer, but not abandoned the thing that makes him good. He has found a way of making really good decisions. And that, in some cases, is the hardest part of trying to become a more balanced quarterback. So, look, top to bottom, I don't know how you can say enough good things about Jordan Travis and the player that he has become. And then on top of all of that, we've talked a lot, just me and you, and I'm sure you and many, many others, about the culture change that needed to happen in Florida State's locker room.
Yeah.
For how many years, how many bad dudes were in that locker room? There's not a better leader on that team than Jordan Travis. And you look at the way he handled himself last year with the Mackenzie Milton situation, and you say, what more could you ask for from a player? He has been the point man both on and off the field to this Florida State renaissance. And I genuinely don't know how you could say enough good things about him.
Yeah, it's exciting, David. I feel very fortunate to have watched the transformation here. And you're right. You and I have had that discussion in the past on and off the records. And we had any number of conversations about what has to happen at Florida State. And that's really where Mike Norvell gets the most amount of credit. That and really doing very well in the transfer portal. And he's helped flip this roster, obviously. In fact, like all bias aside, David, I mean, that's worth a story in and of itself that everybody uses the transfer portal. Very few people have been as effective in flipping their roster and sustaining this the way that Norvell has, with the amount of transfer portal players that have changed this team's makeup talent-wise, raising the floor to that extent.
Right, and you could go and point at Lincoln Riley and say, "Great job in the transfer portal." Oh, well, great, genius! You figured out Jordan Addison and Caleb Williams.
Right.
That wasn't a riddle then.
Right.
Like what the guys that Mike Norvell has gotten have been not just good players, but players who have gotten better at Florida State, and to get back to sort of the locker room conversation, have fit in well with what he has tried to do there. I mean, you look at Jermaine Johnson.
That's a big one.
And he came from that Georgia program that desperately wanted to win, and he brought in that sort of hunger that I think was missing at Florida State, just because it had been so long since anyone at FSU had tasted winning like that. So I mean, it's just such a again, getting the best players out of the transfer portal. There's not necessarily a ton of mystery to that, but getting the guys who A, want to come play for you, B, you're going to fit in the locker room, and C, can still develop and become better players, and they're not just looking for a place that'll let them play the way they want because they didn't get along with their last coach. That's hard to do. And frankly, I think if Mike Norvell wanted to sit down and write a book about it now, he'd have a lot of other coaches lining up to buy the first copy.
So it's not just our game, and I know at the end, I'll ask you, I know you took Wake. I can see it. I think the number's way too big. I think it's going to be a shootout and a fun one at that. We'll circle back to that, but there's another big game, obviously, and it involves Clemson yet again. And so my question, first of all, would be, I don't know why this happens every time we talk, but I have a question to you about Dabo. You guys talk so frequently. I'm sure you're texting on the regular. Why can't Dabo Swinney understand that if a player is playing poorly and articles are written to that end, that it's not a conspiracy or personal?
Jeff, man, I don't know how to have it. Dabo is beyond repair on this particular topic. It's frustrating for a lot of us. Part of it is there's a very insular community there.
Oh, you think?
And no campus is doing that, okay? But let's just say there are a lot of folks that sit in a press conference with Dabo wearing orange.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know that he lives in a world where the truth is put in his face very often. I do think it's funny to me because, you look at 2020 after the George Floyd stuff, and Dabo got a lot of criticism for that. I thought some of it over the top, but a lot of it deserved. And you look at how his quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, handled that situation, and it was beautiful. I mean, it was exactly what you would want a head coach to do, except it was the quarterback. And you look at this situation with DJ Uiagalelei, and Dabo getting all up in his feelings about people saying that he wasn't good last year when he clearly was not. And DJ's handled it perfectly. He doesn't care. It doesn't bother him that everyone's been criticizing him, and he'll be the first to tell you, I didn't play good enough. So it's hard to ignore the fact that the 20-year-olds on the roster have no issues. Dabo does. Now, in DJ's case, I think there's a couple of things going on. Number one, DJ had it hard last year on the field and off the field, and was dealing with a lot that he wouldn't point fingers at anybody else, and nobody else was standing up to say it's not DJ's fault. And I think there is a lot of let's wrap our arms around this kid who took a lot of bullets for everybody else last year. So I think that's part of it. Part of it is I think Dabo just sees himself in DJ. Dabo is so thin-skinned, I guess is the easiest way to put it, about what's going on when people criticize him. And there's some projection there. Again, me being dime store psychologist here. I think he just sees the way that he is criticized for things that he doesn't think is fair. And so he fights that same battle for DJ because he didn't think the criticism was fair. But at the end of the day, anybody who criticized DJ as a human being doesn't know him at all, because he has been great. But he played horribly last year. There's no way around it.
And I didn't see a bunch of articles being written about DJ being a bad guy. I mean, maybe I glossed over him. I didn't hear one criticism of DJ the human being. It was that he was playing terribly. I just think it's weird. And I'm not going to go down this road and belabor the point, but he's gotten worse about it. And I don't know if that's because he's become more insular, as you're saying, or if it's strange to me. To me, once you have success, yes, you can become a tyrant because where are you going to go? Nobody's going to get you out of there. But at the same time, it really usually gives one Teflon to a certain extent. Like, what do I care what anybody else thinks about my quarterback or me for that matter if I've won multiple national championships? And oh, by the way, in an off year, I went 10-3. Like, I don't get that part of it.
I am 100% with you on this. Like, I just don't understand why it matters. But we see this, like, get outside of the realm of sports. Or actually, I would argue, and I've argued this for a while, you look into, like, other news, it'll just become more like sports has always been. But get out of the realm of sports for a minute, and you look at the way, like, and this is true on both sides of the political spectrum, but it'll be like, Trump did this, and all of the liberals will be like, well, why aren't y'all reporting on this stupid thing Trump did? And the exact vice versa. Biden says something dumb and Fox News, why didn't you report on that? People are reporting on it. You just have decided this is going to be your narrative because you read something on a message board or Twitter, and then you have taken that piece of information and made it your entire ecosystem. And I don't think, again, to your point, I would love for somebody to show me the story that was written about what a bad guy DJ Uyunglele is. Nobody wrote that.
Right.
I would not doubt that there was some crazy stuff posted on message boards about, a guy got too caught up in NIL, wasn't concerned about the team, whatever, by some blowhard who's never been around the locker room in the least. But nobody who was around the team and around DJ said any of that stuff last year. And so, but I think this is a lot of it comes third hand too. It's some booster or some guy.
Yeah, tells him.
Dabo, this is what I read. This is what I heard. The media, the monolithic media is saying. And in Dabo's head, that's it. That's the whole conversation because he heard it from some guy who is a booster that he talks to on his radio show or something.
Right.
And, it has this way of taking on its own life. And Dabo, the number of times I've heard him say, well, that's just the world now. That's just the way the media is now. I'm like, Dabo, like, yeah, I'm sorry that social media exists. Like, it's been 20 years now. We gotta come to grips with it.
Who do you think wins that game?
I think Clemson wins it. I look at that. Wake was able to really extend the field last week. And I think there was two reasons for that, or three really. Clemson's very banged up in the secondary. That may still be the case this week. But Wake's wide receivers are real good. And I don't think NC State's receiving core is nearly as talented as Wake's. And the thing that has been the most confusing and confounding to me is that Clemson defensive front, which should be essentially filling out the entire all-ACC team, they're that talented, has not played that way so far. They've been backed up a little bit too. We don't know if Xavier Thomas is going to play this week, but they've had to blitz a ton to get pressure. And even then, they didn't get it much against Sam Hartman last week. And every time they blitzed, Sam Hartman shredded them. So I think they need to figure out a way to get that front four who's really good to play like a front four who's really good. And if they do that, I don't see NC State being able to move the ball consistently on them, even if the secondary is still banged up.
Adelson was on the right side of the ledger, but you, however, were not in taking Wake Forest. Why did you take Wake?
I think it goes one of two ways, and I'll be honest with you, the Clausen comments this week don't exactly provide me with a lot of encouragement. But I think, again, Wake has a lot of firepower there, and that defense, which had not been good the last couple of years, I think is markedly better. Brad Lambert's done a nice job there with the talent that they have. I just think they match up with Florida State pretty well. And look, I want to jump on the FSU bandwagon, and maybe if they win this one, I will jump on with you.
Maybe, David.
And start down I feel like this is sort of, Wake sees this as sort of the last stand for them, or they're going to come in with like the type of hangover I'm used to having when I'm in Tallahassee. So one of those two things. I bet on them coming out to play. I could be entirely wrong. it has happened before, believe it or not.
I just wanted to have fun with you, brother. I always appreciate the insight. Keep up the great work. It's good to see the extra exposure you're getting, as you deserve, and we'll talk again real soon, sooner rather than later, my friend.
Let's do it. We'll have if FSU keeps winning, then I have plenty of reasons to come and chat. So
I see how it is.
I love doing one of these conversations that is not like analyzing why the program has been terrible for the last 5 years. This is a fun change of pace.
It's much better, isn't it? I mean, we got to a point where I'd have you on and I'd ask one football question and you and I would talk about spirits and music.
Actually, come to think of it, we need to do that a little bit more too.
We do.
We got to find a balance.
All right. Be well, friend. Later.
All right, guys.
Yep. See you. Bye. David Hale. He's good at what he does. Friend of the program. I enjoy David. And ESPN.com college football writer. You can read his stuff there. And he does like Wake to win in a shootout. I think he's wrong. And maybe, just maybe, I'll yell at him about it right after this victory for the Noles. What do you think of them apples? This donation has been a rousing success so far, as throughout the show, you guys have continued to donate, and I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to make a last-second push here, like they do on all of the shows that you watch every year that raise money for those that are unfortunate. It's that last, last-ditch effort, tug at the heartstrings, only I will not Ronaldo you. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to Ronaldo you. I'm just going to say a lot of folks, a lot of damage, a lot of sadness, heartbreak, and fear down the southern part of the state where the hurricane came in. Every penny that you donate today, not 1 cent of it will go to YouTube. Not 1 cent of it will go to Warchant or me or anybody else. It will only go to the American Red Cross in their efforts to help those who desperately need it right now, affected by Hurricane Ian. So many of you have already stepped to the table today. More of you have jumped on the show as it's progressed and thus maybe didn't know we were doing that today. Kind of a last-second effort to get this done. And as always, Jeff Cameron Show listeners have shown up huge, and I am forever grateful. Thank you guys so much for doing so. I would ask again, let's see if we can push this baby to 5,000. We're close to 4,000. We've got about 30 minutes left in the program. Once again, every single penny that you donate today goes to the American Red Cross in the effort to help those most affected, obviously, down there in southern part of the state, western part of the state, really much of the state, I should say central part of the state too. It's crazy. All of the funds will go to the American Red Cross, and I appreciate that in advance because a lot of you have already done it. And I mean, goodness gracious, so many names scrolling across your screen here. That's the only way we could acknowledge you guys. But it's important, and thank you so much for doing so. My mother comes in to get whooped here in just a moment. She lost last night's game. I had Cincinnati. She had Miami. Let's see if she'll bounce back with the rest of the picks next on the Jeff Cameron Show.
Your body is a masterpiece designed to heal itself from within. Learn how to maximize your health by tuning in to Phenomenal Health with me, Dr. Ryan Finn. Saturdays at 2:30. Experience true health today and call Finn Chiropractic at 386-7700.
Imagine for a moment that you are completely weightless with zero gravity. All of your worries and stress melt away. Your mind stops racing and you fall into a profound state of pure relaxation. This is available to you right now at Tallulah Delta 8 Plus Floating in Railroad Square for just $50. These state-of-the-art floating pods are unlike anything else you've ever experienced. And while you're there, you can shop for some of the latest and greatest CBD and Delta 8 products on the market. Natural pain management, stress relief, and better sleep are all at your fingertips at Tallulah. Tell them Jeff Cameron sent you and thank me later.
Clean, renewable energy means fresher air, healthier residents, new green jobs, and a stronger, more resilient community. How we get there is up to you. Share your input today to help shape the Tallahassee of tomorrow. Take the Clean Energy Survey at talgov.com.
Physical stress on our bodies can take its toll as the years go by. Whether you're looking to get back into an old sport or just want to spend more time outdoors to explore all life has to offer in our beautiful city, the dedicated team at TOC is here for you every step of the way. You can trust TOC for all your orthopedic needs. And now, scheduling an appointment has never been easier. Just visit teamtoc.com and click schedule online. That's teamtoc.com.
Hey, this is Greg Tish. Here's something you might know about me. I don't drink coffee. I have never had a cup of coffee in my life. Well, that is until now. So why change now? Well, it's because my dear friend at Grassroots Coffee reached out to me after hearing me say that and insisted that I give his product a try. I've been making a huge mistake. The world of coffee is fascinating. I always thought coffee is coffee, you know? No, it's not. I have tried their coffee and it is fantastic. Now, I've got a fascination with learning more about the best coffee in our area. Grassroots Coffee is locally roasted, locally owned, and locally loved. You can find whole bean Grassroots Coffee on the local aisle at Publix, also in Whole Foods, but the best way to get this black gold is to order it online. They literally grind the fresh roasted beans to your preferred level, bag it, write the date on it by hand so you know the exact day your coffee was roasted. It doesn't get any more fresh than that. Order yours now. Just go to grassrootscoffee.com and choose the coffee you want and how you want it, and join me. Let's step up our coffee game together and also support a great local business.
Are you prepared for more severe food shortages? It's likely that over the next year, serious food shortages will plague us. American farmers are dealing with insane diesel fuel prices and fertilizer shortages, which will lower crop yields. And that means your family's favorite foods will soon be in short supply while fetching sky-high prices. Inflation is the new normal, folks. It's time to act before things get even worse. Go to mypatriotsupply.com without delay. You'll find ready-hour emergency food kits from My Patriot Supply that last up to 25 years in storage. Each kit provides over 2,000 calories a day to keep your energy up. Order your emergency food kits today by going to mypatriotsupply.com. Your food ships fast and arrives in unmarked boxes. Listen, there are ways to beat food shortages. When you're ready for real preparedness, make sure to look for ready-hour foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com right now. mypatriotsupply.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Are over $4,000 right now, $4,121 donation to the American Red Cross. We are so excited to be able to do this without any penalty, meaning no money comes to us, no money goes to YouTube at all. All of this is just going to the American Red Cross. So if you are inclined to help out those who desperately need it after Hurricane Ian's destruction, please feel free to do so. A sincere thank you to everybody who has and everybody who will do so in the remaining 27 minutes of the show or thereabouts. I said before the break, I was just having, some fun talking about all these other, telethons and things that I've watched over the years where they put that push in there at the end and try to tug at your heartstrings. I wanted to get to $5,000, but here we go. Keep it climbing, guys. We may get there. It may actually happen, and that is exciting, and we do appreciate it. By the way, don't forget tomorrow, we will, in fact, be over at Hotel Indigo for the pregame show. Begins at 12:30. I would like to note it is sponsored by our friends at Zaxby's. They're great. Seems like everyone's got a chicken sandwich these days, so how do you know which one to try? Luckily, one sandwich towers above all the others in size and in deliciousness. Zaxby's signature sandwich. It's an extra large hand-breaded filet and 3 thick-cut pickled chips on a split-top bun. Boom. Comes with your choice of Zax sauce or spicy Zax sauce. It's big. It's delicious. It's only at your neighborhood Zaxby's. Your Tallahassee Zaxby's, a proud Golden Chief booster for 17 years. Go Noles, says Zaxby's. There you go. Appreciate that. What is that number now?
Closing in on 4,200. Amazing.
That is amazing. 4,200. Here we go. Let's keep it going. Let's make it happen. Tomorrow, 12:30, then the in-game commentary, followed by the post-game commentary. All of it begins. Let's get it going. All right. Time to get in some NFL wagers as the schedule began last night with the Dolphins falling to Cincinnati. That final score, 27-15. I had Cincinnati. She had Miami. Cue it up, Tom.
And now for another edition of the Family Pick. Nick.
Go to your room! Ma, the meatloaf!
Take it away, Jeffrey.
All right, Mama, you are down now. Is it just by a game? Because didn't we split over the course of the last several weeks?
Yes, we have split every single week. And I'm going to say this. I think I had had a good chance if Tua hadn't gone down in the second quarter.
You may believe that, but we'll never know.
And I don't know. Is he okay?
No, he doesn't seem okay to me. I think, we've had a discussion today on the air a little bit here. I'm guessing some negligence here from Miami to some extent, but I don't know. It certainly looked gruesome. I know you still don't have power, Mama. Hang in there. But, if you go watch the replay, it's not good. It's that it's the thing when you see guys get knocked out and their hands, either their arms shoot straight out or their hands twist or whatever it might be.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Well, was it a legal hit?
Yeah, perfectly legal. He got thrown around like a rag doll because he's tiny. So
bless his heart. Well, anyway, I started out one down last week. And so this week, that might be a good omen. I'll tell you, though, you have to say your mother is at a very detriment here because my brain is not really functioning very well between everything we have going on here after Hurricane Ian. But I've made my picks, and I have no idea. I can't even remember who's playing quarterback for some of these teams because I'm goofy.
Well, I'm going to try to take advantage of your misfortune as we move forward.
There you go, like a true loving son would do.
Well, no, a fierce competitor, others would describe it as. I think that's what it is.
All right.
Well,
we'll see. I have no clue here, but anyway, we'll see how I do.
All right, from over across the pond in London, we have Minnesota at New Orleans.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that. I picked Minnesota.
Me too. Cleveland at Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, I took Cleveland.
I'm going to surprise you. Going to take the Falcons. How about that?
Okay. Oh, my Lord. Okay, those dirty birds. Okay, I got it written down.
Washington at Dallas.
Oh, yeah. I'm taking Dallas. I think that reserve quarterback is maybe better than Dak.
I don't think he's better than Dak, Mom, but he's won 2 games here. Cooper Rush is hanging in there. He has played well. There's no doubt about that. But Dallas's defense is the other reason they're winning. So I'll take Dallas as well. Seattle at Detroit.
Yeah. Now wait a minute. I took Detroit.
Yeah, you should. Tennessee at Indianapolis.
Yeah. Now this is a game that I'm not sure. I thought Indy was a goner, but then they won last week, right?
Yeah, they beat Kansas City, Mom.
That's what I thought. So I took Indy.
I've tossed a coin around here.
I love my Derrick Henry, but I took Indy.
I'm wrestling with this back and forth. I don't know what to do with it. I'll take Indy as well. I thought before the year they were going to be a great team. They have looked anything but like a good team, but that win last week might help them. I'll take them as well. All right, Chicago at the Giants.
Oh, I'm taking the Giants.
Me too. Jacksonville at Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Good game. I, too, will take Philadelphia. New York, that would be the Jets at the Steelers. Ooh, no, don't want to watch this one.
I know. I don't even remember who I picked here. Hang on a second. The Jets. I'm telling you, I am punchy. Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Buffalo at Baltimore.
That could be a goodie.
Should be.
Buffalo.
I picked Buffalo to bounce back as well. The Chargers are on the road at Houston. They're missing a lot of their players, Mom, so meaning the Chargers are. I don't know if it makes a difference with your pick, but I thought I should tell you.
I knew they were missing their quarterback. Who else are they missing?
I think, is Keenan Allen going to play? They've got all kinds of injuries. He's iffy. So they're missing a receiver and they're missing their starting quarterback.
Yeah, okay. And Houston now, I can't remember who plays quarterback for Houston because
Davis Mills.
Who?
Dave, thank you. Davis Mills.
Oh, Lord, I'm taking the Chargers.
I hate this game. I'll take the Chargers as well. Arizona at Carolina.
Yeah, I took Arizona.
I took Carolina. We will have another one different there. Give me Carolina.
Yes, we will. Okay.
New England at Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Denver at the Raiders.
Yeah. Now, how about that game? I took Denver. I think Denver's getting they're getting better.
I don't. I'll take the Raiders to get their first win. I think Denver sucks. 11-10 last week. Nonsense. Kansas City at Tampa Bay, Mama.
I know it. I'm happy we're going to get to play home. I don't know. Do you know now? See, like I said, I have no internet or anything. Do we have any of our players back?
Tom, weigh in on whether or not we have our players back. I haven't looked.
Mike Evans is back. That's for sure.
I knew Mike Evans was back.
Julio's a maybe.
They said Julio's likely is what the last I heard. So
what are you asking me?
Well, I'm just saying. Yeah.
Well, what about their line? Is that Donovan Smith? Any of those people coming back?
He could have come back last week, but he was a child and opted out due to pain.
Well, they need to shoot him up with something because we need him.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm taking my Bucks. I'm hanging in there with them.
I too will take Tampa Bay in a squeaker. Finally, the Rams on Monday night on the road against San Francisco.
I think that's a good game.
Me too.
I like Garoppolo, but I also like what's his name for the Rams.
Stafford.
Yes, Stafford. I took the Rams.
I'll take the Rams as well, although I've wrestled with it. We have three different games. You're down one entering the weekend. Here we go.
I know. I hope someone up there is feeling sorry for me, and I'm going to win some of these because Lord knows I need to.
I don't think that the universe cares all that much about whether or not you've got some branches down in the front yard. You either know the game or you don't, Mama.
The football gods are going to shine on me. I tell you what, as I'm out here killing myself with all of this debris that we have here, I think a tree fell on my head. That's the way I feel, I'll tell you what. But anyway, we're making headway.
Good, Mom. Love you. Thank you. Bye.
Love you too. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
All right. You too. Bye-bye. Yes, for many of you that asked, by the way, thank you so much. My mom and stepdad and other family members down there in Bradenton and St. Pete are doing fine. Unmitigated disaster in terms of what the yards front and back look like, but no structural damage to the house and nobody, more importantly, hurt to their person. So everything's good there. We're up to $4,451. We've got 17 or so minutes left in the program. Let's do it. Let's get to 5,000 kids. Make it happen. We can do it. We'll break on that note, I think, is what we'll do. And then when we come back, maybe it'll be like $4,780, and I'll be nervous over the last 15 minutes. I don't know why 5,000 means something to me. It just seems like a good number. Seems like a good number to get to. I had no preconceived notions of what we'd be able to do today. I just had a lot of faith in the fine folks that listen to this program, and you guys have come through. Let's see if we can come through to an extent by which I'll be flabbergasted, and we'll announce it at the end of the show. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
News now.
The Capital Area Chapter of the American Red Cross is gearing up to help those affected by Hurricane Ian. They're packing up trucks full of snacks and waters to send to shelters like the ones in Taylor and Dixie counties. Sharon Caraway, the executive director for the Capital Area Chapter, said she's working with 200 volunteers here in Tallahassee. They're also a hub for resources to be sent over to Jacksonville. They're sending out over 15,000 snacks and waters. They'll also do a disaster assessment after the storm for the affected areas. Caraway adds it's not too late to sign up to be a volunteer. If you're interested in doing so, you can visit the Red Cross's website. Wild Adventures theme park in Valdosta is offering Hurricane Ian evacuees free admission on Saturday and Sunday. Anyone that is displaced due to Hurricane Ian impacts will be given free admission on October 1st and 2nd if a valid ID or proof of residency from Florida counties under mandatory evacuation is provided. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Mac & More Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. They'll be moving to a brand new location October 3rd. Check them out online at macandmoresystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Partly cloudy skies this afternoon with highs around 80. Northerly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy again tonight. Lows level off around 59. High temperatures reach up to 85 tomorrow. Ample sunshine expected. Daytime highs approaching 84 Sunday under clear skies. 82 Monday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 79.
As Leon County government continues to monitor Hurricane Ian, we urge you to get prepared by visiting leonready.com for more information on how to prepare, act, and recover when disaster strikes. Visit leonready.com. That's leonready.com.
Your next chance to win $1,000 is coming up at 3 p.m. Don't miss your chance to shake the 93.3 Money Tree and see what falls out. Planted by the law offices of Basic Brooks. Come back stronger with Basic Brooks.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
There's a TikTok that's going viral because of a butter softening method. They are putting the Vermont Creamery butter in the waistband of her pants. Give it 5 minutes. You can go and measure out your ingredients, and then your butter is ready to go. You cannot do this in Florida.
No.
Because your pants will be full of butter in 2 minutes. Somebody try it. Post on TikTok.
Unless it says juicy across the back.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Game on Friday, November 25th, courtesy of Bud Light and Tri-Eagle Sales. Text Bud Light Fan 22 to 855-297-9460 for a chance to win sideline passes, hospitality passes, 2 tickets to the game, plus Bud Light and FSU fan gear. That's Bud Light Fan 22 to 855-297-9460. You must be 21 years of age or older to enter. For complete contest rules, visit trianglesales.com. I'm always blown away these days if I go in to purchase, say I go to an ABC, Tom, and I walk in.
Fine wine and spirits.
Yes. And say I walk in there and I say, oh, look at that. I'm gonna try some of this. I'm going to have some of these spirits, and I'll throw in some beer. And then I walk to the counter and I see that date where they have to check your ID. It's unsettling. It's unsettling.
Yeah, it wasn't, but a year ago where
born before
the bartender said, well, if I see a 2, then I got to look at the actual ID. If I see a 1 as the first year when you were born, you're good. You're legal.
He didn't even have to. Yeah, that's it.
We're
done searching here.
That is hurtful.
Well, what's funny is I will tell you, I will almost weep when other people say, I never get mad about this. You see the people who get mad about it. I'm like, what? If a girl across the counter says, sir, can I see your ID?
What if a guy does?
Same.
Okay. All right.
I say, God bless you. It's true. I do look 22, 23, maybe 19. I got you.
I do work out.
I did. I see where you'd be confused. Pushing for 5,000. Let's go, baby. Let's go. We're close. We have $4,508. It's a lot. I'm not poo-pooing $4,508. I just hope towards the tail end here that listeners of the Jeff Cameron Show and folks in the Warchant community, that we could make a push to get to 5,000. And that would be, well, all of it's something to celebrate, by the way. All of it is. You guys have come through and passed with flying colors. We appreciate that. Every penny donated today, nothing goes to YouTube, nothing goes to us. All of it goes to the American Red Cross, helping out. Good times. And they've reached out. They heard that we were doing this.
Did they really?
Oh, yeah. I'm getting all kinds of notices in my email inbox, Twitter over here, texts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're all pumped up, buddy. They're like, how about them apples? Well, one of the directors lives here in Tallahassee. He's like, yes, thank you.
Well, we're glad to help. It's
And
the least we could
obviously
do.
a huge fan of the Jeff Cameron show. So, these are people that have not only an incredible life's endeavor to help, but also exquisite taste.
That's true. You would just hope that if you needed help, somebody would be kind enough.
Correct.
And so therefore that's why, you always do the right thing because people in general are kind. We've seen it. You've seen it for 20 odd years now with the show.
It's nuts.
I've seen it for close to 15 now, and it's moving. So thank you, everybody.
I really quickly go back to what we were talking about a moment ago with my mom, and I will tell you that it is weird to read the headline, Tua in great spirits after a hospital visit. I don't know how one could be. Don't you just think that guy looking at the last 2 weeks would have a headache for the ages?
Well,
Stunning.
That doesn't affect the spirits. And again, he was discharged last night. So thankfully, whatever medical protocols he went through, once again, say you're good to get on an airplane after the trauma you suffered. That's really good news.
It is really good news. Wonder if he plays again this year.
Man, you're really harping on this thing.
I'm not harping on anything. It's an important subject. He looked pretty close to dead on the field at one point and had no control of his motor functions. That's a problem. I would think if I were him, I'd want to get it looked at again. Maybe a few more times. I'd like to play this game for years on end, not just survive this campaign.
Well, what I'm saying is if you don't trust the Dolphins doctors,
No.
okay, that's one thing. But you went to a level 1 trauma center who specializes in this particular.
Oh, well, they're allowed to release you if you have a concussion.
But what I'm saying is, given how it looked initially, that is unbelievable news because it looked like he would be staying overnight, maybe for days.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't know anything about that. I mean, people get released from concussions all the time, and they still have to be monitored. And whether or not they can actually play in their chosen sport afterwards is a different question. So, yeah, I'm with you. I'm glad that he's been released. That's a good sign. Would have been devastating to hear otherwise. But I do think that he might be wise to hold out a little bit here and try to figure out what's going on, because to me that's consecutive weeks or less than a week is what it would seem like to me. Let's get to some probables, games that matter, big ones indeed. Fire it up.
It's time for how you say with the pitching probables.
Brought to you by our friends at Tallulah. I went in and got I threw my cup away. They've got this extract from the kava plant, Tom, and you get this kaya plant, whatever it's called. I don't even know what it's a K.
It's a good plant.
Good plant. It's one of the good plants. And they mix it with this apple tasting thing. I love apple. And it's like a sparkly juice.
Oh, I saw that when I came in.
It's delicious.
Nice. So you're frequenting it on the way in.
Oh,
I like that.
I go every day. I love it. Folks at Tallulah and I are becoming good friends. All right, let's do some probables. Again, games that matter. They're big ones. Phillies lead the Nats 2-0 in the 6th.
Ooh, he was so nervous off screen. Director was like, again, we're losing. I'll bet it. I'll bet we are.
2-0 in the 6th. Bailey Falter, Eric Feedy. Reds Cubs. Graham Ashcroft once wrote the great American novel. Adrian Sampson. Phillies, Nationals, Game 2, Noah Syndergaard, Tommy Romero, Orioles, Yankees, Jordan Lyles, Domingo Germán, Red Sox, Blue Jays, Nick Pivetta, Alex Manoah, I like him, his name is Alec Manoah, Royals, Guardians, Brady Singer, Aaron Savale, we got the Twins and the Tigers, Joe Ryan, Tyler Alexander, here we go, Mets and Braves fans, let's watch some baseball, 7:20 tonight, and it's a big one. Jacob deGrom and Max Fried. Woo! Rays Astros. Very big game. Drew Rasmussen, Framber Valdez. Marlins Brewers, Sandy Alcantara, Corbin Burns. Pirates Cardinals, Johan Avadio and Jack Flaherty. Only Flaherty. Rangers Angels, Glenn Otto. Hey, I'm Glenn Otto. Welcome to Glenn Otto. Reed Detmers, A's Mariners, Ken Waldichuk. Logan Gilbert. White Sox Padres, Dave Martin, Yu Darvish, Rockies Dodgers, Chad Kuhl, Clayton Kershaw. And finally, D-backs Giants, Merrill Kelly, Alex Cobb, and that is a look at those that shall reside on the bump. Oh, what happened? We got there? Oh, look at this. Oh, you surprised me. I wasn't watching the feed. Oh, man. Yes. All right. Yay, humanity. Yay, people. So much to be angry about all the time, seemingly all around us. And then the goodness, it comes out, right? And you're reminded, the better angels of our nature. I thank each and every one of you for donating today. It means a lot to me, and it certainly, more importantly, means a lot to those that will be aided by the American Red Cross through your donations. Well done. Well done. We are up to $5,208 and climbing. Wow. Oh, 5,308. Yeah, I got to hit that go away button or I'll get choked up. I'm proud of you guys.
Thank you all.
Yeah, I mean that sincerely. Don't
Thank you.
forget tonight, I go from thanking you to being a whore. We will be at Corner Pocket today at 5:30.
Some may say that's one of the...
and then Saturday's a pregame show at Hotel Indigo. Beginning at 11:30, they open the doors. We're on at 12:30. Hey, thanks again, guys. I mean that sincerely. Really sincerely. Good job. Be well. Peace. Go Noles.